what you describe as special tax breaks, I think Republicans and Democrats have both been a part of those. And that's why we ought to take a look at comprehensive tax reform.
I don't care who was a part of it, stop it.
Yes, sir. I'll come over here. Thank you. Hey, I'm trying to go to my left, not always to my right. How's that? Sure, that's good. Yes, sir. Then I'll come back over here.
A recent article about a month ago was a national story that kind of an interesting set of numbers. You can do a lot with numbers. In the year 2000, we lobbyists received about $800 million to influence people in Washington, from senators and congressmen to committees to all sorts of things. In 2010, it's $10 billion. That says a lot about money influence. So my question to you is, what are you doing to minimize influence so you make reasoned decisions for this district?
Yeah, and I base my decision. Thank you. I base my decision on the Constitution of the 4th Congressional District, what's good for this country, and what I believe to be good for the American people. And that is feedback that I received from you. So thank you for that. And I think we ought to have more transparency, far greater transparency in the system than there is right now when it comes to our campaign finance system. So thank you. Yes, right here.
I'm a 70-year-old Colorado native. My family goes back to 1800s in Loveland. And I'm frustrated because I voted for you to stand strong. It seems like we always compromise. We on the Republican side.
Let him talk, guys, please.
And I voted for somebody to stand for principles. So my question is, to the people in the Beltway Republicans, have they got so used to just giving in and giving in where we can't stand strong for principles?
Well, thank you. And I think, you know, if you're talking about the most recent vote, and I don't know if you are or not, but I mean, here's the most recent vote. I mean, August 2nd, according to any number of business leaders, any number of economists, was a real date. And I don't think we could threaten the economy by failing to come up with a plan by August 2nd. This bill is by no means perfect. It is not the whole apple, it's a small bite of the apple, and we need to do more. But I did not want to wake up on August 3rd knowing that we had let a very important date to our nation's business pass without anybody doing it. That was a bipartisan bill. So thank you.
Do the Beltway Republicans, I'll use that, as they got so used to that not being able to stand up?
If they don't come home and don't get out of the district, that place can suck you in. That's why I am here listening to you, so thank you. Yeah, back to back. We'll come to you next. How's that? Go ahead.
First of all, thanks for coming here. I represent Garner. I'm an independent voter. Fort Collins, I voted for you last time. Basically on your platform for fiscal responsibility. I've been really pleased with the kind of momentum in Congress for fiscal responsibility because it's needed. One of the things that really bothered me, and everyone can agree that, and I'm sure you can too, is that whole round before August 2nd was a circus act on both sides. Very disappointing, Republican or Democrats. What really bothers me is, yes, I want to see fiscal responsibility, but not even one person, not one bill in the House came out with closing the corporate loopholes for oil companies. We're asking Americans to make hard choices, whether it be entitlement changes or simple changes. But corporate loopholes or loopholes for oil companies, sir, how could you not suggest that or on the platform? As here we are in this district, hurting, willing middle-class citizens to make willing to make sacrifices, but yet oil companies are making record profits, and we're suffering, and it's not a voice for us.
Yeah, and you know, and I don't know. You know, that's why we talk about tax reform, but also that's the budget that passed the House a couple of months ago.
Not to interrupt you, but I didn't want to talk. I wanted action. I wanted leadership.
Yeah, the budget bill that passed 2 months ago actually addressed the closing a lot of those loopholes and began tax reform, and that passed the House. So thank you. Go ahead.
My name is Dennis McClatchy, and I received a rotary call from you recently, in which you said that you wanted to protect our Medicaid. I'd like to know how you plan to do that when you voted for the Paul Ryan budget, which basically puts seniors on a voucher program. Also, again, stubbornly refused to go back to the tax levels that we had under Clinton, which we know created jobs, it was a balanced budget, and left us with $236 billion in surplus.
Well, you're incorrect about the Medicare, ending Medicare.
I said put us on vouchers.
That's not true. And so, if you want to end Medicare, do nothing. Because the plan that passed under the health care bill took $500 billion out of Medicare, and it created the IPAB board, the Independent Payment Advisory Board, which will make a lot of decisions, taking it out of your hands and giving it to basically a board that's very high paid with very long with unlimited terms. And so you've got the IPAB board with very long terms, very high, comfortable six-figure salaries, making decisions.
Do you support the Paul Ryan bill?
I supported a plan to protect and preserve Medicare for people. Medicare will be bankrupt if we do nothing. This from the chief actuary of Medicare, the Treasury Department. Medicare, if we do nothing, will be bankrupt in 9 to 13 years. It will be bankrupt in 9 to 13 years. The only way that we are going to save it and preserve a safety net program is if we take responsible reform and actions to make sure that it remains in place. Yes, sir.
Can you explain to us why the Congress has not been able to pass a budget for the last couple of years? What's it going to take now to get some kind of budget on record so we know what we're doing? All I know is that our bills keep going up.
Yeah, and the question is how come